Hi girls, so tomorrow we're going to be learning about more locus, and this time we're going to be focusing particularly on parabolas. So if you remember the other day in class when we were making the locus, the loci I should say I guess, and we had the one that was equidistant from a point, make that a bit bigger, a point and a line. And we found that, well, firstly, you got the point in the middle there. Oops, sorry. Got the point in the middle here. That's one point. And it turns out that you kind of go around this way. And we've got a parabolic shape. So let's, just on the side here, let's do the calculation to actually prove it's a parabola. So let's just say, for example, that this point here has coordinates 1, 2. And that this line is the line y equals -3. And let's just pick a point on the curve. You tend to always pick one in the first coordinate. So let's just pick this point here, P, to have coordinates x, y. And if we just call the point in the middle here, we'll call this S, and we'll call this line here D, for reasons that will become apparent tomorrow. Basically, that's what the textbook always use. So the locus that we're looking at says that the distance from the point from the point on the curve to a fixed point is equal to the distance from the point on the curve to a fixed line. So that's what the equation says. And now it's a matter of saying, well, this length here, that's the distance PS. And this length here, that's the distance PD. Right, so we can write equations now for both of these things. So firstly, we'll do PS, and just for the sake of making it easier on myself, I'm going to do PS squared. So PS squared equals the change in x squared plus the change in y squared. And PD, because it's perpendicular distance from the point to the line, is just the change in y. So it's just y minus 3. Okay. So let's go over the slide. So I get that x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 all squared equals y plus 3 squared. Right, I skipped a step there. So previously I had that this was square rooted, and then I squared both sides to get to there. So now let's just do some algebra. Let's expand both sides. So on the left, I get x minus 1 all squared plus, and I'm doing that because I know the answer, but you'll see why I've done it in a second, I hope. And it's actually something we talked about today in class, because what you're about to notice as I do the expansion is that now there is a plus y squared on both sides, so they go away. And so now you can see you've only got y's and constants and this thing here, which is a perfect square. So what kind of function do you know that has only y's, constants, and x squareds? Well, that's a parabola. So effectively what I've done is I've kept it in completed square form. So let's just tidy it up. So I get 10y, reversing the order of both sides, plus 5 equals x minus 1 squared. Now I could write this in the form y equals 1/10 x minus 1 squared minus 1/2, full marks. Right, so you could draw that parabola straight away because you know it's shifted to the right 1 unit. You know it's shifted down 1/2, and you know it's got a pretty flat parabola. So it looks something like I've drawn there. I mean, that's very much a sketch, but it looks something like that. And just for the sake of what's going to happen tomorrow, you could also write it as 10 bracket y minus plus 1/2 equals x minus 1 all squared. And if you notice, now what I've done is I've paired up everything in terms of x's in a bracket, and also y's in a bracket. And so that tells you over here, so this one over here is the horizontal shift, and this one over here is the vertical shift. And then the 10 just tells you something about whether it's a pointy parabola or a flat one. And we'll deal tomorrow with what all those numbers actually tell us, and there's a few other things we need to talk about. But basically, that's all tomorrow's going to be for us. Okay, so have a nice night. Don't forget to finish your, Maths Online I set you as well. Have a think through this, and don't be a naughty dog like my dog was.